The game of Yu-Gi-Oh has many different cards, but not all are created equal. Throughout the history of this card game, certain decks have naturally excelled and beaten more forgettable cards into the mud without a second thought. Those cards faded into obscurity as the meta progressed, falling even more behind as greater complex strategies developed. Well, it's finally time to give those cards a chance to shine in a format where they can do what they do best, in Edison. Will I be playing the meta decks of the time in this series? No. Will I even be forging the new best decks in Edison format? Instead, my plan is to salvage the scraps of forgotten cardboard that litter the depths of Yu-Gi-Oh binders to figure out which cards really are the best of the worst. Hey Edison players! Looking for a new way to summon extreme boss monsters that basically win the game on their own? Do you want to try some unique cards that have never been played in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh before? Well, I have your answer. Presenting Metabol Globster. Never again will you wish to play another fiend monster that basically does nothing by itself. You will love how this card summons 3 tokens to your field, which can be used for an incredibly specific boss monster summoning requirement. Don't delay, play Metabol Globster today! Metabol Globster Inc. is not responsible for any emotional damages caused by a single spell, trap, removal card, or a certain beast flip monster that rhymes with Geico. Hey guys! Did you see that new commercial going around? Yeah, it was really convincing, so I decided to try Metabol Globster today. I bet you've never seen this card before. This card is probably one of the worst I've ever seen, but you know me, I'm ready to make it work. So let's see what we're working with. A fiend with 800 attack and 300 defense. Okay, so we're not doing anything with those stats, but the effect is what counts, right? Let's see. When you tribute this card for the tribute summon of a dark monster. Okay, another restriction, but that's fine. We have some good tributes for that. Special summon 3 Metabo tokens with 0 attack and defense. Oh, okay, cool. Those can be used for tribute summons, right? Right? Wait! There's still a use for these things. Plasma. So for this deck profile, I decided to go heavy on the tribute summons. So we have 3 Caius, for obvious reasons. He's basically the best tribute summon in the game right now, in Edison format. Then we have 1 Jinzo, which is basically a game ender for some decks that really rely on trap cards. And 3 Sphere of Chaos, which can get us any level 3 monster from our deck. This could be Chaos and Master, Sangan, or even our little friend Metabol Globster. Then we have the aforementioned Chaos and Master, which can special summon Sphere of Chaos directly from the deck to make a level 8 synchro when it destroys a monster by battle. We also have 3 Mystic Tomato, which helps us get Metabol Globster onto the field really easily. And we have Sangan to search for Mystic Tomato, or Metabol Globster, or even Chaos and Master. And 1 Stratos to search our win condition in the deck, Destiny Hero Plasma. This card is really crazy. For one, it can basically suck up one of your opponent's monsters, and its other effect is basically just a one-sided skill drain for your opponent. It's basically a game ender if you get it onto the field. We also have 2 Raviel, which is basically just a big idiot that has 4,000 attack. That does get you a token if your opponent normal summons a monster, but that effect almost never comes up. It's either they have an answer to this card, or they don't, and they lose. For the spells, we have 2 Book of Moon, 1 Brain Control, 1 Cold Wave, 1 Giant Trunade, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Soul Exchange for the tribute summons, and then for the traps we have 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 3 Dimensional Prison, 1 Mirror Force, 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, and 1 Torrential Tribute. For the side deck we have 2 Cyber Dragon, 2 Jinzo, 2 Kaiko the Ghost Destroyer, 1 Puppet Master, which can actually special summon a fair amount of the cards in this deck, since a lot of them are fiends, 2 Thunder King Ryo, 1 Lightning Storm, or Lightning Vortex, 2 Shrink, for just a shrink for KSN Master, and then 2 Dust Tornado and 1 Ultimate Offering. In the extra deck, we have 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon and a lot of just generic synchros, but we also have Dark End Dragon because we can make that using Sphere of Chaos and Chaos End Master. And I know some of you are wondering right now, how can you summon Plasma and Raviol after the tokens? They say they can't be used for a tribute summon, but technically these are a special summon. Must be special summoned, not tribute summoned, even though you are tributing the tokens. But it's a special summon, not a tribute summon. So that's how it works. Alright, so let's get right into the replays. Alright, so I don't win the die roll, which, you know, is fine. But we do open a pretty good hand. We have a tribute summon, Mystic Tomato, which can get us to Metabol Globster, and our payoff for the tokens. So that's pretty good. Plus Cold Wave, that's always good. And we draw into KSN Master, which is actually even better because they set a monster for us to destroy. So we summon KSN Master. It turns out to be Necro Gardna, and we can special summon a Sphere of Chaos from our deck. I also forget that I can literally just attack here, so I did miss out on 1600 points of damage, but that's fine. I Synchro Summon into Stardust Dragon here, just to prevent any destruction that my opponent might have, and set Bottomless Trap Hole. My opponent goes for another set and pass, so that's kind of good for me. I'm able to summon Mystic Tomato and attack in, and it turns out to be Plague Spreader Zombie, and I attack with my Mystic Tomato. On my opponent's turn, he goes for Brain Control, taking my Stardust Dragon, which is not the best, but I am able to summon Metabol Globster off of the Mystic Tomato after he attacks it, and he must be really desperate because he tributes the Stardust Dragon for a Celestia without effect, because it needs to be tributed by tribute summoned by tributing a Lightsworn monster in order to activate its effect. So that's pretty good for me. Now I have Metabol Globster, and I'm able to activate Cold Wave just in case next turn he has anything. And here actually I just could have won the game if I summoned Caius and banished his Celestia, unless he had something in his hand, which it turns out he actually did. He had Trigodia, but I probably still should have summoned Caius anyway, just to banish that, and then you get the 3 tokens for tribute summoning a dark monster, and then I'm able to remove them and special summon Raviel by tributing 3 fiend monsters, which would have been lethal actually if he was if I did summon Caius there. So, but it's fine. He concedes anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You just try to get Metabol Globster out, and once you tribute it, hopefully you have something in your hand that you can profit off of that. But yeah, Raviel is kind of the worst option, so let's go into a game where we see Plasma. So I do win the rock, paper, scissors in this game, and that's preferable because this deck usually does want to go first. So we set the Mystic Tomato and the Book of Moon here. We do have a pretty good hand like last time. We have a Tribute Summon and a Payoff for the tokens. So yeah, my opponent goes and summons Summoner Monk, discarding Brain Control and summoning out Armageddon Knight. And he's able to dump Plague Spreader Zombie here. He's able to put 1 card on the top of the deck and special summon Tempest Magician, which was interesting. But, you know, I support Jank. Nothing wrong with Jank decks. He burns us for 500. Nice, I guess. And attacks my Mystic Tomato, which I'm able to special summon out another one, and then I'm able to special summon out Metabol Globster. So he does set 1 card here, but that's fine as I'm able to summon Caius and try to banish it. It turns out to be Dust Tornado. I don't really see the point of Book of Mooning here. So I activate Metabol Globster and special summon the 3 tokens, and then I'm able to tribute them off for Plasma. So Plasma is able to suck up his Tempest Magician and negate every single monster effect he tries to activate. So he admits defeat here, and looking at his hand, yeah, there's really nothing he could have done at this point. I think he also put back another card that probably wouldn't have done anything either. So yeah, this game was pretty much over. So yeah, that showcases the power of Plasma and how really once you get this combo off, it's hard to lose from this position. So yeah, even though Metabol Globster is not the best card, it does have it fulfills a small niche. I didn't think it would. I thought it would just be this dumb card, but actually it works surprisingly well with these 2 cards here. So yeah, that's been the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys try Metabol Globster.